So I appreciate you for tuning in to another Chris Caden show. You guys know why you're here. Let's get into it. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. I fucked with Drake since Degrassi. I watched Drake go from who he was with the afro, with the messed up hairline, to being in a wheelchair, to he's starting his music career, to people not taking him serious, to he's the next one up, and then if he's a legend, everything he's on is a hit, he's putting people on. Then Pusha T ruined this man's image for a bit. He kind of rediscovered himself. And then we get to this point tonight where I have never been more let down by Drake than I was tonight. This was... I made a video. By the time this video is up, it'll be yesterday. But so I made a video yesterday talking about Drake has the surprise album coming, and I was a little on edge about it because Drake has made 6 albums, and majority of the time Drake was making music for hits. He's not making a cohesive album. He has an agenda, he has a plan, and he executes it. And I'm like, what is he gonna do now to change, or what is he gonna give us that's different, that's gonna make this better? And this man thought to give us a dance album? Bruh. If this is what he was gonna do, make it an EP, make it a mixtape. But when you announced that this was your 7th studio album, I got a little bit excited. I was just like, an album, that's something we gotta take seriously. That's something we gotta dig in, divulge, listen to it, interpret it. I listened to this album front to back. I never want to listen to this shit again besides Jimmy Cooks with the featuring the 21 Savage. And for Drake to make an album that has 14 songs and I only want to listen to 1, I'm disgusted. Like, what was going on through Drake's head? Like, is he trying to self-sabotage? Is this him saying, I want to be a pop star now, so don't take me serious as a rapper? What was your MO? What was your agenda with this? Before I dig deeper into, does this ruin Drake's legacy? Does this make me view Drake differently? If this is your first time watching me, maybe after the content I deliver, you become a loyal subscriber. And by becoming a loyal subscriber, you turn on the notification bell for all my videos so you can like and participate in the comment section. If you guys like the vest that I'm wearing today, you know, give a little show. This is brought to you by today's sponsor, No Idol. Let me give you guys a quick video to show you what they're about. So yeah, man, 100% black owned innovative clothing. They plan on getting a new drop by around August or September, so you need to make sure to grab this while you can. And honestly, it fits perfect, it feels good, it gives you variety, gives you new styles, gives you new trends. It's something you should definitely check out. But enough about No Idol, we gotta get back to Drake and him. I'ma just be real. This album has tarnished Drake's legacy for me. It has me now questioning, is he even in my top 10 of favorite artists? Because it's not just this album, it's been a collective for me. The last album I've enjoyed by Drake that I keep going on and listening to is More Life, Scorpion, Forgettable, Certified Lover Boy. I listened to it. I thought I enjoyed it when I did the first album reaction. That's kind of why I don't like first album reactions in general, because it takes a little time to divulge. You need to listen to it 2 or 3 times to see if you really like it or if you don't. But off first rip, Certified Lover Boy seemed good, but it was not a timeless record. It came, it went. And now you're gonna come out with this bullshit. I'm just like... And this man had the audacity to say he's gonna drop an album later this year. I'm like, keep it. I don't want it anymore. I know I'm never gonna get a classic album from Drake. I know this man is only gonna put on for people. He's only gonna try and make hits. He is who he is. He has more hits than the Beatles, but he makes more forgettable music than any legend I've ever seen. And that's what pisses me off about Drake at this point. You were so talented. You had everything in your hands. All you had to do was maybe take some time off, a year or 2, maybe even 3. Go through life, experience life, write an album, Give us a cohesive album that was a classic. No more doubters, no more nothing. Through 7 albums, you have not given us that once. Through 7 albums, your best album is Take Care. And some consider that a classic, but some don't. And the fact that it's questioned don't mean it's a classic. So what are you doing, Drake? Like, as someone that's watched you and followed you, probably going on 20 years now, I've never been more disappointed with you. This album, it just, to me, it was like a slap in the face. It was just like, this is where he started and this is where he's going. I'm like, bro. At this point, you a pop star that sometimes rap. You the male Doja Cat to me. Like, you know it's bad when I'm staying up later to record this because that's how disgusted and upset I am about the album. Like I said, Jimmy Cooks is the only memorable song. It's the only thing worth listening to. There is one last point that I want to bring up, and I think a lot of people are not factoring this into the equation. I'm going to just keep it a buck with you. Ever since Drake lost to Pusha T, he has not been the same. Pusha T must have destroyed this man's spirit. Pusha T must have made this man question everything because Drake's just not been the same. He's just like, now I feel like to me, he cares even more about hits or the radio play than he did before. I said in my previous video, Views is my favorite Drake album. And the reason Views is my favorite Drake album is because we got a mix of everything. We got, you know, pop style where he was, you know, rhyming a little hard. We had the one dancing controller with the vibes, you know, he just wanted to dance a little bit. We had 6 and 9 now. It was an album that had so many different sounds and so many different things that it was hard not to find something you enjoyed. This man made a full-on dance album and it's just like, you're Drake. You're a legend. You can't be doing this shit. For me, it's a difference when Kanye tries something and it may not succeed or fail because Kanye has always been experimental. When you're an experimental artist, you're allowed a little bit more leeway. When you're someone that's had a lane, you stick to this lane, you followed this lane for over a decade, now you want to switch this lane, and now you want to try something new, and this is what we got. I would have just rather you rapped for the whole 14 songs and given us this, but apparently it's summertime. Drake's like, oh, I haven't been in the pop charts for a while. Let me put myself back in there or something. So he's gonna make these songs. We're gonna hear these in American Eagle. We're gonna hear these in the stores. We're gonna hear these at clubs. And that's apparently what he wants. That's his message. That's the legacy Drake wants to leave. Drake no longer wants to be considered a rap legend if this is what the shit he's coming out with. Like, can you honestly compare Drake to Jay-Z after something like this? Can you honestly compare Drake to legendary MCs after this? No. To me, this solidified him as a pop star that raps, then more so he's a rapper that also can do some pop and other things. But I could go on and on about Drake. I had to get this off my chest because I've never been more upset or disappointed with an album since Speeding Bullet to Heaven by Kid Cudi. After that, I had to temper my expectations with Kid Cudi. But then Kid Cudi gave me an album that made me re-believe in him. Drake, you gonna have to make me re-believe in you. Maybe with this second album you have coming later on this year, whatever it is, you've lost my trust after this album. You guys let me know in the comment section. Am I going way too hard on Drake? Maybe this album actually is good to people. If it is, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe there's actually a few good songs, but to me, majority of it's forgettable. Majority of this stuff is something I never want to listen to again. And I'm going to move on and gonna be slandering Drake a little bit this summer. The fact that Drake has gone from, at one time he was one of my favorite artists, to now I have to question that he's in my top 10 is just crazy to me. And it's crazy how music changes and people change and you adapt and grow or learn. But I don't think Drake's growing or adapting. I just think he's staying in his lane, and that lane is just trying to make money and not make timeless records. And that's a shame because he has the talent to do that. So as you know, Chris Cadence, I'm going to give you guys the hip-hop content when it's there. That's why you make sure to subscribe, turn the notification bell for all my videos so you can like and participate in the comment section. This Chris Cadence of out this motherfucker.